will solve some problems regarding the chapter 6, electromagnetic induction. Now the first problem, predict the direction of the induced current in the situations described by the following figures. Here they have given different figures. In each case, we have to work out what is the direction of the induced current. Here we have to make use of Lenz's law. Okay. Now look at the first diagram A. We have a coil and its ends are represented by P or Q. There is a bar magnet whose south pole is moving towards the coil as indicated by the arrow mark. As the south pole is entering into the coil, according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, an EMF is induced in that coil. Because since the bar magnet is moving, there is a change in flux. The rate of change of flux induces an EMF in it. We have to work out what is the direction. Now, according to Lenz's law, the polarity of the induced EMF is such that it produces a current in the coil or the circuit which opposes the change in magnetic flux which produced it. ತನ್ನ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕಾರಣೀಕರ್ತನನ್ನೇ ಅಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ಹಾಗೆ. As the south pole is entering, the magnetic field lines are increasing. The flux rate is increasing. Therefore, the induced current should be such that it has to decrease the flux rate. It has to oppose the motion of the bar magnet. Therefore, since it is a south pole is approaching, this coil has to produce a current such that as viewed from this side, that is bar magnet side, this coil face has to behave like a south pole. South pole means the current should be in the clockwise direction as viewed from this bar magnet side. Since it should be clockwise, so from this diagram, I will get the current like this. It has to be clockwise as viewed from this direction. Therefore, current has to flow along this path. So, in the external circuit, the path of the current is since it should be clockwise as viewed from clockwise ittu anta helidre nodi, it should be south pole. Now this face has to act as a south pole. Therefore, south pole is approaching. This coil has to behave as a south pole. Therefore, it is going to oppose the motion of this bar magnet. Therefore, path is Q R P Q. Q R P Q. Path of the current in the external circuit is Q R P Q. Like that, we are going to work out. Now come to the second diagram B. Here they have given two coils which are placed on either side of a bar magnet. Okay. So bar magnet is moving towards the left side coil, PQR coil. Its south pole is approaching. Now similar to this case, as the south pole is approaching towards this PQR coil, now in this phase the current has to be in the clockwise direction. Current has to be in the clockwise direction. Therefore, clockwise means the current has to flow in this fashion. So if you look at this one, the current is flowing from P R Q P, this path. Since it should be clockwise, carefully look at this diagram. Now this turn is connected to Q. Therefore, current has to flow from P R Q P path in this coil. For this coil, path is P R Q P. Similar to that one, because south pole is approaching, therefore this face of the coil has to behave as south pole. South pole means the current should be clockwise. It should be clockwise as viewed from the bar magnet. Now come to this coil. Since the north pole is receding, north pole is moving away, therefore this face of the coil has to behave as a south pole, because since it is moving away, it has to attract. Moving away ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫೇಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಸೌತ್ ಪೋಲ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಅವೇ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಪೋಲ್. ಸೊ ಸೌತ್ ಪೋಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೈನ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಆಸ್ ವ್ಯೂಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಬಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟ್. ಬಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟ್ ಕಡೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ಸೌತ್ ಪೋಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಿಹೇವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್. ಸೊ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಕ್ಲಾಕ್ ವೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಹೀಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಲುಕ್ ಹಿಯರ್, therefore current has to flow along this direction. Therefore path for the second coil is x, z, y, x. Clear? Now come to the third diagram here, very interesting one. We have a circular loop and a straight conductor. Now we have to work out what is the EMF induced in the circular loop. Since the current is flowing from bottom to the top in the straight conductor, according to the right hand thumb rule, if you hold the current carrying conductor in the right hand, the extended thumb indicates the direction of the current flow. Then the encircled fingers indicates direction of the magnetic field. Magnetic field. Now this induced magnetic field is along the plane of the coil. So here the magnetic field is parallel to the plane of the coil. Since it is parallel to the plane of the coil, the cross product obviously becomes 0. Therefore, there is no EMF induced in this diagram. No EMF induced. Why? Very simple. The magnetic field lines are parallel to the plane of the coil. Since they are parallel to the plane of the coil, the EMF induced is 0. Magnetic field lines should be perpendicular. It should be perpendicular to the plane of the coil. Since it is parallel here, field lines parallel agade. Or in other case alli ಏನು ಹೇಳಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ field direction perpendicular to the area vector. Field direction perpendicular to the area vector ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Therefore angle is 90 degree ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ನಾವು flux ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ b dot a ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. That is BA cos theta ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Cos 90 is 0. That is BA cos 90 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. That should be is equal to 0 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Therefore EMF induced in this case is 0. Now similarly 3 more diagrams have given. Please work it out. And second problem is also is given. Please work it out based on Lenz's law. Next problem. A long solenoid with 15 turns per centimeter has a small loop of area 2 centimeter square placed inside the solenoid normal to its axis. If the current carried by the solenoid changes steadily from 2 amps to 4 amps in 0.1 second, what is the induced EMF in the loop while the current is changing? This was the problem. This is the problem. They have given a solenoid, its length, it's a number of turns per unit length, small letter n is given. Now inside the solenoid we are having a circular loop. Now look here in the diagram, we are having a single loop is placed. If the current in the solenoid is changed from 2 amps to 4 amps in 0.1 second, what will be the induced EMF in that particular loop? That we have to work out. Now given The number of turns per unit length that is given, that is n is given, small letter n of the solenoid is given, that is 15 turns per centimeter. It is not in meter, we have to convert it into meter. So therefore this one is equal to 15 turns per centimeter is converted into meter by 10⁻²⁻² meter. If you take 10⁻² to the numerator, it is +2, therefore it becomes 1500 tons per meter. That is small letter n is given. Placed inside the solenoid, normal to its axis. If the current carried by the solenoid changes, the current is changing, that is change in current from 4 to 2 amps, that is 2 amps to 4 amps, that is 4 minus 2, that is 2 amps of current is changing. It is changing in a time dt, that is dt is equal to, it is 0.1 second. In that time the current is changing. If that is the case, then what about the induced EMF in that circular loop? And area of the loop is given, area is 2 centimeter square. Area of the loop is given, A is equal to 0.2 centimeter square. It is not in SI unit. If we convert it into SI unit, it is 0.2 into 10⁻² whole square. Therefore, then this becomes 10⁻⁻4. Because 1 centimeter is 10⁻² meter. But here it is centimeter square. Therefore, it becomes 10⁻² whole square. Therefore, 10⁻⁻4 meter square. That is the area. Now we have to work out what is the induced EMF. Now, first we have to work out what is the magnetic field due to the solenoid. The magnetic field due to the solenoid is μ0 n into I, and flux is given by, it is B into A. Flux is given by B into A. So therefore, the induced EMF is, magnitude of it is d phi by dt. Substitute for the flux, that is d by dt of B into A. Now A value is given and B value, now this one is, substitute that one, μ0 n I into A. Now here μ0 n and A are constants, they are not at all variables, only the current is variable. Therefore the magnitude of the induced EMF is μ0 n A into di by dt, that we are getting. Okay, so μ0 4 pi into 10⁻⁻7, number of turns per meter, that is 1500, and area of cross section, that is 2.0 into 10⁻⁻4 di by dt. Now di, it is 2 divided by dt, it is 0.1. Therefore induced EMF, now if I calculate that one with the help of a calculator, now this is 2 by 0.1 is becomes 20, therefore it is 4 into 3.14 into 1500 into 2 into 20 is equal to 753,600 into, I will adjust the powers, 10⁻⁻7, 10⁻⁻4. Therefore it is 10⁻⁻11 volts. Or I will get the induced EMF is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore it is 7.5 into 10⁻⁻6 volts. So this amount of EMF is induced in that loop. Next problem. A rectangular wire loop of sides 8 cm and 2 cm with a small cut is moving out of a region of uniform magnetic field of magnitude 0.3 Tesla, directed normal to the loop. What is the EMF developed across the cut if the velocity of the loop is 1 centimeter per second in a direction normal to the longer side, second one shorter side of the loop? For how long does the induced voltage last in each case? Now here we have a rectangular loop. Look at the diagram. Length is 8 centimeter and breadth is 2 centimeter. Now it has a small cut along the length. Now the magnetic field is into the plane of the board, that is perpendicular to the plane of that rectangular loop. Now that rectangular loop is taken away from this uniform magnetic field region in two ways. One is, the first case is the velocity is normal to the longer side. Now this is the velocity. Now it is moving with a velocity of 1 centimeter per second. The first case. In the second case, the smaller side is moving. It is taken upwards. Then what is the induced EMF in both the cases? Now given. Now length is given. Now length is 8 centimeter, or it is 8 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Breadth is given, it is 2 centimeter, or it is 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter in terms of meter. Okay. Uniform magnetic field is given, B is equal to 0.3 Tesla. 0.3 Tesla is given. And the velocity with which it is moving, it is 1 centimeter per second. It is not in SI unit. You have to convert it into meter per second. Therefore, it is 1 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter per second velocity. Now we have to work out what is the induced EMF and the magnitude of the induced EMF or motional EMF. Simply we can work out the motional EMF and the time in both the cases. How long does this induced EMF is produced? Now case A, when velocity V is normal to longer side as shown in the diagram. Now that rectangular loop is taken away from the longer side, is pulled away. That velocity is normal to the longer side. What is the induced EMF along across the cut? Motional EMF. Since here we are considering the motion of the conductor, we can work out motional EMF. The expression for motional EMF is BL into V. Simple expression. The field is given, it is 0.3. Length, it is 8 centimeter, 8 into 10 raised to minus 2. And velocity, it is 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. Okay. So if you work out, that is 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 4 volts. 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 4 volts. This amount of EMF is developed across the cut when longer side is pulled away. When that rectangular coil is pulled, with the longer side is taken away with the speed of 1 centimeter per. Now we will work out the time. T is equal to displacement divided by the velocity. Simple relation, velocity is displacement by time. Therefore, T is equal to d by v. Now displacement is 2 centimeter. That is 2 into 10 raised to. Even though we are pulling the 8 centimeter side, the variation is along the breadth, that is 2 centimeter, 2 into 10 raised to minus 2, divided by the velocity is 1 into 10 raised to minus 2, that is 2 seconds. Lost for 2 seconds. Similarly, case B. Now look at the diagram. Now this rectangular loop is taken away along the shorter side. Rectangular loop is taken along the shorter side. So therefore, The EMF is B into L into V. So B is 0.3. Now here in this case L is nothing but it is the breadth, this side that is 2 centimeter. 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 and velocity is 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. If you simply work out this one, motional EMF, we are getting 0.6 into 10 raised to minus 4 volts. This amount of EMF is developed across the cuts when the shorter side, the velocity is normal to the shorter side. Now work out the time. Now T is equal to, so it is D by V. Now D it is 8 centimeter. Now this total length has to be taken away from the field direction. Field direction is ಅಷ್ಟನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. Therefore, with the velocity 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. Therefore, T is equal to 8 seconds. When the velocity is normal to the shorter side, the EMF lasts for 8 seconds. Next problem. A 1.0 meter long metallic rod is rotated with an angular frequency of 400 radians per second about an axis normal to the rod, passing through its one end. The other end is in contact with a circular metallic ring. A constant and uniform magnetic field of 0.5 Tesla parallel to the axis exists everywhere. Calculate the EMF developed between the center and the ring. Now here we have a rod 1 meter length. Its one end is fixed at the center, the other end is in contact with a circular ring. Now that rod is rotated with a uniform constant speed, angular frequency 400 radians per second. We have to work out what is the EMF induced. Now given the angular frequency omega is given, that is 400 radians per second. Length of the rod is given. Now the length of the rod is taken as L, or it can be taken as, it becomes the radius of that circular loop. Therefore, it can be taken as also R. It is 1 meter. And the strength of the magnetic field is given. Now B is equal to 0.5 Tesla. Simply we will work out what is the EMF induced. In theory, while studying the motional EMF, we have derived what is the EMF developed in the case of rotational motion of that metallic rod. The EMF induced is given by half B omega R square. If you take L, it is L square. If you take R, it becomes R square. This we have already derived that one. So therefore, simply substitute and simplify. B is 0.5, omega is 400, and R square, it is 1 square. Now simply work it out. So 1s are, that is 200. 200 into 0.5 is 100. 200 into 0.5 is, it is 100 volts. The EMF developed between the center and the ring is 100 volts. Next problem. A circular coil of radius 8 centimeter and 20 turns is rotated about its vertical diameter with an angular speed of 50 radians per second in a uniform horizontal magnetic field of magnitude 3.0 into 10 raised to minus 2 Tesla. Obtain the maximum and average EMF induced in the coil. If the coil forms a closed loop of resistance 10 ohm, calculate the maximum value of current in the coil. Calculate the average power loss due to Joule heating. Where does this power come from? So we have a circular coil, its radius is given, and number of turns is given. It is rotating about its vertical diameter. Vertical diameter ಅಲ್ಲಿ rotate ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟು. In the presence of horizontal component of the magnetic field, its value is given. We have to work out what is the induced EMF, maximum value of induced EMF and average EMF, the current, maximum current and the power dissipation and source of power that we have to work out. Now given, we will list out one by one. Radius is given, r is equal to 8.0 centimeter. It is not in SI unit, therefore it is 8.0 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. The number of turns is given, number of turns, that is capital N, that is 20 turns. Angular speed, that is omega is given, that is 50 radians per second. 50 radians per second, that is given. And the magnitude of the magnetic field, magnitude of the magnetic field is 3.0 into 10 raised to minus 2 Tesla. That is given. We have to calculate what is the maximum EMF induced, that is the amplitude E0 we have to work out. And then we have to work out what is the average value of EMF, average value over one complete cycle, that you have to work out. And maximum current I0 we have to work out. If the coil has a resistance of this one, that is R is 10 ohm, then you have to work out maximum current and the power dissipation, the average power dissipated in that coil, that we have to work out. Okay, so one by one we will work out. First one is what is the maximum value of the EMF. In that expression we have already studied, the maximum value of EMF is given by N B A omega, where N is the number of turns in the coil, B is the magnitude of the magnetic field, A is area of cross section of that coil, here it is circular, and omega the angular speed. So therefore it is NB, area is pi r square, since it is circular coil. If it is a rectangular coil, then we have to work out L into B, length into breadth, into omega. Now N is given, that is 20, magnitude of the magnetic field 3.0 into 10 raised to minus 2 into pi 3.14, and R radius, that is 8 into 10 raised to minus 2 whole square, multiplied by the angular speed 50. Okay, so we will work out with the calculator. Now 20 into 3 into 3.14 into 8 square 64 into 50. So I am getting 6.602,880. After multiplication I am getting 602,880. Now we will adjust the powers. 10 to the power of minus 2, 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square, 10 to the power of minus 4 and minus 2, that is 10 to the power of minus 6 volts. Now if you further simplification, I will get induced EMF is equal to 0.603. I will simplify this one for correct to the 3 decimals. Therefore 0.603 volts. This is the maximum EMF induced in that coil. Clear? Okay. Next we have to work out what is the average EMF induced. Now the EMF induced in this case is an AC signal, that is it is a sinusoidal, that is represented by a sine wave. So initially it has a 0 value. Now at t by 4 we have maximum value of EMF, positive maximum, and at t by 2, that is 180-degree rotation of the coil, we have once again the EMF is 0, and at 270-degree rotation of the coil, that is 3t by 4, we have negative maximum value, and at 360-degree rotation of the coil, the EMF value is 0. That we know very well. That is capital T time period. This forms a sine wave. This is positive half cycle and this is negative half cycle. For every instantaneous value, positive value, there is a corresponding instantaneous value in the negative half cycle. For every instantaneous value in the positive half cycle, there is a corresponding value in the negative half cycle. Therefore, if you add all those positive values and the negative values, and if you take out the average, we will get the average induced EMF is always 0 in the case of AC cycle. In one complete cycle, the average value of induced EMF, average value of current, average value of voltage, if you work out, that comes out to be 0, algebraic average. In order to avoid that one, we are introducing RMS value, root mean square value of the current. That we will study in the next chapter, that is AC alternating current chapter. Now study ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. So here the average value of the EMF is 0. Now the value of the resistance, if the coil has a resistance of 10 ohm, what is the current? Then current is equal to maximum value of current is equal to maximum value of induced EMF divided by the resistance. Induced EMF just we have worked out 0.603 divided by resistance is 10 ohm. Therefore, the current is 0.0603 amps. 0.0603 amps. This much amount of current is induced. And the third one is we have to work out the power dissipation in the circuit or in the coil. Now the power dissipation is equal to, it is the RMS value of the voltage, that is induced EMF, and the RMS value of the current. Now that formula also we are going to study in the next chapter, that is AC. Now the average power dissipation is equal to, it is the product of RMS value of the EMF and RMS value of the current. Now since we are not given the RMS value, it is given by maximum value of EMF divided by root 2, peak value of the voltage divided by root 2, and peak value of the current divided by root 2, or I will write it as E0 into I0 divided by 2. Now peak value of the voltage, that is EMF, 0.603 multiplied by 0.0603 divided by 2. Now if you take the calculator and if I work out this one, 0.603 into 0.0603 divided by 2, I will get 0.018 watts. Now this amount of power is dissipated. Now how this power is dissipated and what is the source for this power? As and when this coil starts to rotate, an EMF is induced in that coil, and there is obviously a current flowing in that coil. According to Lenz's law, this induced current is in such a direction, it has to oppose the rotation of the coil. Current induce ಆಯ್ತು, ಆ induced current ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಯಿಲ್ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ಅಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕಾಯಿಲ್ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದನ್ನ ಇಂಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ EMF ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಪೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕಾಯಿಲ್ ರೊಟೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ಲಿ ರೊಟೇಟಿಂಗ್. That means there is an external agent who is going to supply this power. Who is that external agent? Rotor shaft that we have studied in the case of AC generator. That rectangular coil is connected to a rotor shaft. Now he is going to supply the mechanical rotation by other mechanical means, and this rotor shaft provides the power, and that power is dissipated in the form of heat in the coil. That is the source of power here. Clear? Next problem. A horizontal straight wire 10-meter long extending from east west is falling with a speed of 5 meter per second at right angles to the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field, 0.30 into 10 to minus 4 Tesla or Weber per meter square. We have to work out what is the instantaneous value of EMF induced in the wire, motional EMF. What is the direction of the EMF? And which end of the wire is at higher electrical potential? Now these three things we have to work out. Now we have a rod which is 10 meter long. It is falling. Now the rod is in the east-west direction and the magnetic field is in the north-south direction. Now here it is into the plane of the board. If you take that is into the plane of the board, field is into the plane of the board and it is falling vertically downwards. Now what is the instantaneous value of the EMF? Now we will list out what are the given things. Length of the wire is conductor or the rod. Length of the rod is given. It is 10 meter. It is in east-west direction and it is falling with the speed of, the velocity is given, it is downwards. It is 5.0 meter per second. In the presence of horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field, that is He. Earth's magnetic field, we represent it as He. That is 0.30 into 10 to minus 4 Weber per meter square, or the another unit we know it as Tesla. Okay. Now we have to work out what is the instantaneous value of EMF induced and its direction and which end is at a higher electrical potential. Those three things we have to work out. Very simple. Now in the case of motional EMF, we have studied the instantaneous value of the EMF induced is given by simple relation BL into V. Now B, that is the horizontal component of the Earth's magnetic field, that is 0.30 into 10 to minus 4. Length is 10 and velocity it is 5.0. Simple calculation is there. 0.3 into 5, it is 1.5. 10 to minus 4 and 10 to the power of 1, it is 10 to the power of minus 3. The instantaneous value of this EMF is 1.5 into 10 to minus 3 volts, or it is 1.5 millivolts. This is the induced EMF. Second is, where is the direction of this induced EMF? B. Now direction. Now the direction of the induced EMF is given by Fleming's right hand rule. Now according to Fleming's right hand rule, if you stretch the first three fingers of the right hand, thumb, forefinger and middle finger held mutually perpendicular to each other, forefinger indicating the direction of the magnetic field, extended thumb indicates the motion of the conductor, then the middle finger indicates the direction of the current or the induced EMF. Now the conductor is moving downwards and the magnetic field is into, I am holding, now the thumb is downwards because it is the force, gravitational force acting downwards, and this forefinger it is into the plane of the board. Therefore, the middle finger is indicating the direction of the induced EMF for the current. So therefore, this middle finger is pointing from my side to other side, that is my side is west direction and other side is east direction. Therefore, the induced current is from west to east direction. The induced EMF or the current is from west to east. That is second part. Okay. Third part is now which end of the wire is at higher electrical potential. Since the induced EMF is moving from west to east direction, since the induced current is flowing from west to east direction, obviously the west end is at higher electrical potential. West end is at higher electrical potential. Okay, like this we are going to solve the problem. Next problem. Current in a circuit falls from 5 amps to 0 amps in 0.1 second. If the average EMF of 200 volts induced, give an estimate of the self-inductance of the coil. Very simple problem. So given the current is changing from I1 is 5.0 amps. If I take I1 and it falls from I2, that is 0.0 amps in a short interval of time, that is delta dt is equal to 0.1 seconds. So what is the change in current? Then di is equal to I2 minus I1, 0.0 minus 0.0 minus 5.0. Therefore, di is equal to minus 5.0 amps. The change in current is minus 0.5 minus 5.0 amps. The EMF induced is given. The instantaneous average value of the old EMF induced is 200 volts. Now we have to work. What is the self-inductance of the coil? Now in the case of self-inductance, the EMF induced is E is equal to minus L into di by dt. Now substituting the values, E is 200 minus L, that we have to calculate. Di, it is minus 5.0 divided by dt, 0.1. Therefore 200 minus of minus becomes L plus L into 5 by 0.1 is 50. Therefore self-inductance is 200 by 50. Therefore L is equal to 4 Henry. The self-inductance of the coil or in the circuit is 4 Henry. Next problem. A pair of adjacent coils has a mutual inductance of 1.5 Henry. If the current in one coil changes from 0 to 20 amps in 0.5 seconds, what is the change of flux linkage with the other coil? Now it is the case of coil-coil experiment. In one coil the current is changing. In the another coil we are going to work out what is the flux linkage. Now given here, mutual inductance is given, that is M 1.5 Henry. The change in current is given, di is equal to I2 minus I1. So it is changing from 0, that is I1 to 20 amps, I2. That is 20 minus 0, that is 20 amps. In what time it is changing? That is dt is equal to 0.5 seconds. In that time it is changing. What is the flux linkage? We have to work out what is d phi, flux linkage. Now we know that According to Faraday's law, the induced EMF is equal to magnitude of the induced EMF, or induced EMF is given by the rate of change of flux linkage. The negative sign, obviously, it gives the polarity of the induced EMF according to Lenz's law. And also in the case of mutual inductance, we have studied the EMF induced in one coil. If you take it as E1, that should be is equal to minus of mutual inductance of the coil into di2 by dt, the rate of change of current in the other coil. Or simply we will write it as E is equal to minus of m into di by dt. Now equate these two expressions. By equating those two expressions, we are getting d phi by dt is equal to m into di by dt, or simply the flux linkage, change in flux linkage d phi is equal to, it is m into di. Now mutual inductance is given 1.5 and change in current, that is 20. Therefore, flux linkage, change in flux linkage is 30 Weber. Flux linkage is 30 Weber. Next problem. A jet plane is traveling towards west at a speed of 1800 km per hour. What is the voltage difference developed between the ends of the wings having a span of 25 meters if the Earth's magnetic field at the location has a magnitude of 5 into 10 to minus 4 Tesla and a dip angle is 30 degrees. Now we have an aeroplane, it is moving towards west, from east to west direction it is moving. Now it has a wingspan. It has a wingspan of how much it is given? 25 meter. Wingspan is 25 meter. And the Earth's total magnetic field is given. That is P 5 into 10 to minus 4. And the dip is given 30 degree. We have to work out what is the vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field. The vertical component is given by Z is equal to B into sin theta. Now look at that aeroplane is traveling towards the west. Now we have to work out what is the EMF induced across the ends of the wing. Now from the diagram, the aeroplane is moving towards west. That means the velocity is towards the west. The conductor length is along north-south direction, and the magnetic field is downwards. This is downwards. Now the given things, the speed is given. Speed v is equal to is 1800 kilometer per hour. We have to convert it into meter per second. That is equal to 1800 into, it is 5 by 18 meter per second. That we know how we are going to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second if we by multiplying it by 5 by 18. So onza. Therefore, the speed is 500 meter per second. Next, length of the conductor, that is the distance between the two wings, that is 25 meter. And the magnetic field, Earth's magnetic field BE is given. It is the Earth's total magnetic field. 5 into 10 is to minus 4 Tesla. Dip angle, I is given 30 degree. First we have to calculate what is the vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field. Vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field, that is equal to B into sin theta. By that one we will work out, and hence we have to calculate what is the EMF developed across the ends of the wing. We have a simple expression. Therefore, the EMF developed is vertical component of the Earth's magnetic field L into V. Now vertical component is BE into sin theta, L into V. So BE is given 5 into 10 raised to minus 4 into sin 30, and length is 25 meters and the speed is 500. That is 5 into 10 raised to minus 4. We know the value of sin 30 is half into 25 into 500. One's a 250s. Okay. Now, if you simplify this one with the help of a calculator, I am getting 5 into 25 into 250 is equal to, I am getting 31250. 31250 into 10 to the power of minus 4 is there. If I simplify this one, I am getting the induced EMF is 3.125 volts. Now this amount of EMF is induced across the ends of the wings.